Welcome, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact Fast, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trent Walt, my co-host, J-Bone and Bill, and this is the NWA-TNA throwback review for number 61 from the Asylum. Boys, 61 episodes at the Asylum. A very loud Asylum on this one. Extremely loud Asylum. I can't wait to talk about this one. This is an interesting episode. And I'm dying to jump into this one. But gents, what's going on? Happy Thursday? We just saw each other 2 days ago, but happy Thursday. What's new?
Happy belated St. Patty's Day.
That's right, Bill. You got a party shirt on. I'm assuming St. Patty's Day was fun for you.
No, I didn't do much, man. It was a low key St. Patty's Day. I didn't do much of anything. I don't even know if I left the house on St. Patty's Day.
Are you guys open in Philly? Did they open
stuff is opening back up again. Okay. Like indoor dining and all that opened up back up a little bit ago.
Like 40% or something? Is that the
but I'm not sure what the current bar scene is. I think they are open. Yeah. As long as they serve food. I don't think if they don't serve food, I don't think they're open. But yeah, I did make a brief appearance the other day, but it was more like it was a bar restaurant. But then I was in and out because I was actually meeting some people for some fantasy NCAA pooling.
Oh, all right.
Where you pick the players of the NCAA, like to go through who gets the most points type thing. So I have no clue. I'm so out of it with this stuff. When I used to work at the paper, I was up to date on a lot of this.
But I bet.
I know like a handful of guys these days.
I was gonna say, Jay, my favorite thing about Bill, not the impactness, not the impact fandom. My favorite thing about Bill is he's always busy doing something fun. Always something fun. It really is.
Right.
The party time account should have been Party Time Bill. Really, I mean, he's doing. I do a lot, but I mean, Bill's always doing something fun. I love that. I'm telling you, I wish I lived near Bill, Jay. I'd be just tagging along with him. I'd be just tagging along, try to get some of the flavor. That's all. You know,
poor Patch is probably thinking I run him ragged when he tags along on stuff. Like, take a break, man.
I'm getting tired, man. I can't handle it. Come on, it's only midnight. What are you talking about? We're going out.
But then there are times where I need to recharge. Like I'll go all in, but then there's got to be a recharge time at some point. That could be who knows when.
J-Bone, you are bionic today, my friend. Bionic Bone today. You want to share your good news, or is that something you don't talk about? How does that work? I don't really know. I don't know protocols around here about this stuff.
I could share a couple of things. Well, number one, I got new lighting. So I should look significantly brighter. You know, it should be looking. It should look better.
Were you blinded by the light, J-Bone?
I was blinded.
Wrapped up like a
douche. No, that's not it.
But yeah, J-Bone's got new lighting, looking good, looking HD Bone. I like that.
HD Bone. And J-Bone was lucky enough to get his first shot of the vaccine today.
There you go. Look at that bionic bone today, huh?
And I gotta tell you, I'm having no side effects. I mean, I'm a little achy in the arm, but no worse than like if you got a flu shot and they tell you just to move your arm around, you know. So I've been doing, you know, the arm wings or the ups and the whatever, you know.
Dropping elbows. That's why you got your Macho Man.
Dropping elbow. Yeah, my wife didn't like that too much. She banned me from the rest of the house. She said, "Get in your office, and I don't want to see you the rest of the day." No. No, I'm good. I'm good. The pharmacist did say you may have a little side effects from the second shot that I'm going to get in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A little more fatigue. Probably no more than, you know, what you would feel from a normal flu shot, because I've had flu shots where it just kicked my ass. You know, where I was just down for a day or two, achy, fatigued. You know, so that's what I'm expecting. So, but yeah, I'm good on the health front. It's feeling fine. You know, I'm happy I got it. So
good, man. Very good. My mom got hers yesterday, her second. Mom's done. Dad gets his tomorrow. So awesome. A nice little comfort on their part in my household there. So I'm glad that's happening. But yeah, good, Jay. I know you were worried because you had some stuff and you wanted to be careful. So I'm glad you're almost there. You're halfway there, J-Bone, living on a prayer, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there we
just
go.
Like,
Nice.
Just like Bon Jovi says, yes.
So Mark is not here. People might have noticed. Mark, I spent a little too much time in the treehouse. Okay, Mark forgot his.
This is the good stuff.
Exactly. But Mark will be here tonight. He has a little family situation going on, so Mark will not be. He's bummed because it's his favorite show is Throwback, so he won't be here on this one. But maybe he'll definitely watch it. I'm sure he'll be up to date by the time we get to 62 next week. But real quick, I want to plug two things at the top of the show while it's fresh. Number one, if you guys missed this Tuesday's review, the Sacrifice Fallout review that we did, the post show, Adam Thornstow was on for almost an hour. And for what Bill people are saying, it's probably our most popular interview now. We've had a lot of them, but they're loving this one.
It could be up there with the Throwback interview with the Wildcat.
Oh, that's a big one.
Which was also an hour, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, that was, I think it went even over an hour. That was
Maybe a little bit more.
So that was go check that out. Great interview. Learn a lot about the Reno Scum that I didn't even know. That was really cool. And big announcement: the UK guys, Bison, Joe, and Steve, are going live for the first time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central U.S., 3 p.m. Eastern, and then the UK it's going to be 8 p.m. Central time. It's 8 p.m. I guess in the 8 p.m. UK time because I don't know. They're 6 hours ahead. Anyway, I'll plug it out earlier in the morning, but they'll be going live. Their first live broadcast. They're doing a Sacrifice Fallout, and I'll be behind the scenes to make sure they'll wrangle those bastards around. So, Bill, one of you guys in the chat, make sure keep that going. But I'll be wrangling them from behind the scenes. But their live one. I think they're a little nervous. We'll find out though.
He should be in jail.
Yes.
Maybe. I mean, somebody's going to go to jail tomorrow. Who drops the ball? We'll find out.
That's pretty bad for YouTube. Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. Also the design from the infamous Juan of the Dead is complete. The design, the right on time. He delivered a day early, actually. He said the 19th. Got it today. Final design. We will be releasing that as part of our Pro Wrestling Tees store and maybe some other stuff. Maybe some other.
Is there even a change since I saw it? Because that was yesterday. So is there even?
No, that
was another change. Okay,
that was
right.
I think
wasn't sure if there was even more changes.
No, he just kind of shined it up. Just kind of
shined it up. Gave it the rub.
Give it a little rub. Now it's a final version, HD'd. So yeah, you guys are gonna like it. It's pretty cool. It's Juan of the Dead who's doing some Impact shirts now. He's done a lot for the guys and girls in the roster. And he's doing TNI shirts. Also, surprise to you two, our Impact contact, who we all know, we have an Impact in. Our Impact contact told me that they're going to run a special promotion just for TNI listeners on Shop Impact. Bill, this applies to you. Oh yeah. I was going to tell you guys off air, but I just got this word late last night, really late, like midnight last night. I'll have more details
from the tapings. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, this is from Nashville. I got the call from Nashville. This is what we're gonna do. So, I'll tell you two after we go off the air tonight, and I'll announce it on Tuesday once it's all confirmed. They're working something out. We'll lock it all in.
Amazing.
Yep. And T. Hughes, I wanted to let you know Michael is coming on the show in 2 weeks. So since he's already asking about it, Michael Cavaccini, who was writing the TNA book, he's already set to come on in 2 weeks. I didn't announce it yet. I was going to surprise, but you blew the damn surprise away, my friend. So you blew the surprise, but it's only throwback. I haven't announced on the main show. So
you get these tidbits.
This is a niche audience that joins us for this, but you're getting some heavy stuff on this one. So tell your friends, hey, guess what? You really got to listen to this one.
Yeah. So I'll probably we'll aim to release the new shirt design for Tuesday's show. We'll kind of do a big old thing next week. So don't have a guest currently scheduled, but that always changes. As you guys know, we get the guests. They want to come on TNI. We get the knock at the door and they say they want to come on. So it can happen that day of, but we'll figure it out. We'll let you guys know. But as of right now, no guests for Tuesday, but Michael Cavaccini will be on in 2 weeks. But cool. I think that's all the top of the hour stuff. See, guys, I kayfabe my buddies here too. All the guys in the chat. These guys don't know any of these announcements that I just made right now. It's that raw. It's like improv theater, Bill. It's like good improv.
It is. That's why the UK boys, they're coming from across the pond tomorrow, and they're going to get a little taste of it.
Oh yeah,
it's live or die, man. Live or die.
I want to see how Bison. I put Bison in charge. And Bison, he's the captain of your boat here. And don't screw this up, Bison. We're gonna see what happens with Bison.
Gotta see if he's got the balls to do it.
The balls. Bison's got the balls.
In my ass.
Oh, hey, wait a
Whoa,
minute.
whoa.
Wait a minute. But all right, that's all the news, the housekeeping, as the other podcasters like to call it, the housekeeping, Bill.
Well,
so
you know what? It's throwback, but it's
Yeah.
it's big enough news where we should at least announce it.
Go
I
ahead.
saw it was already mentioned in chat.
Sure.
But
What do you got?
Kylie Ray is making a return to wrestling, at least a one-off for
Yeah.
Warrior Wrestling in June. So
She's back.
that's definitely something to keep. I know on the last Tuesday show, I was hitting that maybe Tessa, maybe we get that return, because I think we were all thinking that the knockouts need a shot like Killer Kelly coming in, but probably even more than that. They need a face. They need a strong face, that which Kylie was going to be, which Tessa was before she went into the main event scene with the men. Just keep your eyes peeled. I think even though there's been some stuff that didn't shake out well for various reasons, not blame on anyone in that regard, but I think there at least avenues I think are still open for these discussions to see what happens, because that's obviously, who knows, like that could be a very testing the water, local for a while, see what happens, but who knows? Usually when you're in the business, you don't get out.
You never get all the way out, that's for sure. But she's holding their women's title. She's local here, Chicago, so she could be coming in and drop it, or she could be dipping her toe in the water to see, hey, is it safe to come back, kind of thing, right? Either way, Mark's extremely excited. Mark already talked to the wife about making that their vacation post COVID to come out to see it.
That's a risk though, because
that's a
it's
risk
far enough out where maybe it falls through too.
And that's what he brought it up himself. He's like, God, the risk is that she might not show to it too.
Yeah,
so.
like just like any show, card is subject to change. Like if you know her plus 3 other people you want to see, fine, make that investment. But I would never book any. Well, I kind of did today. EC3 was announced for the Tracy Smothers Memorial Tournament in November, and I said I'm getting the family truckster, and I'm getting it out.
Yeah.
So
wait.
I did that but I have suspicions based on who's liking these posts on the rest of the field. So I think I'll like the rest of the field as well.
When's that show? That Tracy Smothers?
It's in November in Tennessee.
Oh wow!
You know what's funny? And we haven't seen him yet. Did Tracy never did a TNA spot? Did he? Am I crazy, or did he never wrestle for TNA?
Did he never during this era almost? If he did, it would have been around this time.
And that's crazy, because Tracy Smothers worked everywhere for every company. I can't remember if he did.
He was part of the Hardcore Justice 2010.
The FBI thing? He did do that. Okay.
He did.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, that's why I knew it had to be through the ECW connection. I was just trying to confirm it.
I had to slap myself because I just reviewed that like a month or so
ago,
whatever it was.
A couple weeks ago.
part of Hardcore Month and on Impact Plus.
Great, yeah. But yeah, no. So I will say this for Warrior Wrestling: if you're coming in for it, if you're coming for Kylie, and if she doesn't show, I know Steve who runs it. Steve's a friend of mine. I've been to several Warrior shows. They're local here. You're gonna have a good time regardless. It's a fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a bunch of Impact talent too.
It's a ton of Impact folks. Yeah, you're not gonna feel cheated.
Trey Miguel's their champion, so you'll at least see Trey as well.
You'll see Trey. You'll get your fix, and that's definitely gonna be some fun. So yeah, go check that out. And
I would probably head out myself, but I think I'm already committed to a GCW weekend in Atlantic City. Yeah, I believe so. I think I already have 2 weekends committed.
If you want to come to the next one, the one they're doing June, July, August.
Well, that's more likely, because so far there's no shows scheduled for July. But it's one of those things, man. You got to get out in front with shows.
Yeah, you do.
You get on the calendar first. That's going to be who goes. You're going to get the most talent.
That's true,
and people to attend.
That's true. But you're right. You're right. In AAW, actually, we got our April stuff coming up, and then we have our calendar for the rest of the year in place. I'm putting that out there now. Do the dates, Bill, if you want to ever come out for any of them.
Definitely, because I definitely want to get back out there again. If you're doing like maybe up against one of those Warriors in July or August,
I'm gonna find out. I want to find out.
I could definitely head out for that. If I can get, if I can get multiple shows in, I'm in.
I'll tell you what. I know a few of them are back to back with one of the Lucha companies here, so there are some Lucha backup. Torus and all those guys are part of it. Like a bunch of the Lucha guys. It'll be worth your time. I'll let you know though. I'll give you the dates. Nice. As they lock them into, and I'll give it to you off air as well. But
yeah, guys, I still have a ticket for another show up in Crown Point. That once that gets scheduled, I'll be heading out that way. So hopefully, the same thing. It
might all work out. It might all line right up. But well, cool. Let's jump into it, guys. We all got the housekeeping out of the way. Let's jump into TNA number 61, September 3rd, 2003. Now I was on Dave's couch. We probably ordered some Chinese food or some pizza. Buy pizza. September pizza. No, September Chinese food. It's getting into fall. Going like the comfort food here. We were forking over our $9.99, which the following week is going to be a penny. We're going to talk about that in a second.
That's a penny one. Yeah.
$9.99. Fork that over. Plop down. Dave's now wife sitting next to us, not paying attention, but when we found out later on, she was paying attention to everything. I never told you guys about this. I'm going to tell you guys about this. About Mrs. Dave. In a minute, I'll tell you guys as we get into the show. But
Mrs. Dave,
she's now his wife now, but girlfriend at the time. But watching this, chilling on the couch. Bill, September 3rd, we're getting on the Labor Day-ish over here around that time. What's going on in Bill's world? September 03.
September 03. I can tell you, I was heavy in the job market search. I still have in my current email, which. Since I've had an email address that long, it does cause problems where my email gets full a lot, and I gotta empty it because I have decades of email. But I was in the midst of I was at a different company at the time, and I knew they were going to be moving that company, so I was in the throes of like every day I was resumeing and filling out stuff. Mm-hmm. So I already looked back and saw within this 48 hours, I probably had sent out like 20 resumes.
Man, that's how you did. And there was no LinkedIn back then to make this
No. It was kind of like you were finding companies and shooting them to people at the companies.
That was a different time. Different time. You kids these days, they're LinkedIn, your quick applies on LinkedIn. Yeah. J-Bone.
But it's crazy. I did all this, and yet like most of it during that era, it was still newspaper ads.
How about that, right?
Like that's even though I was doing emails, the jobs I got were through newspaper ads.
Isn't that funny? Wow. I worked for Career Builder for a while too. And
Career Builder was they had started off around then like that. This was early Career Builder.
Yeah. I worked for them a little later after this, but yeah, it was still then that became the thing, That was like the way to do it.
Yeah. But Career Builder, Monster, and then like everybody.
Yeah. God, there was so many. Monster was the big one, I remember. And then they were just duking it out, those two. J-Bone, what about you? September 03.
I was dreaming of being a worldwide famous podcaster. Oh, I don't know, man.
Who was a podcaster back then, Jay?
I want you. Who was doing pod? I remember back in those days, in late 90s. You guys ever listen to The Law, live audio wrestling? Remember these guys, Bill? They're out of Canada. They had a show every Sunday, and they were a great like it was Dan the Mouth Lovransky, who later did some of the English commentary on FMW tapes.
Ooh, okay.
God.
And where was this airing?
This was airing. So it was on in Canada live on radio, but then we would get a podcast, like an audio download feed on Real Player. A Real Player download.
There's a throwback.
Yep. They'd upload it on like all the wrestling sites. Like I remember WrestleView.com was an early one I used to go to back then. You could download from WrestleView and they had one of the early server type websites, and you could download the Real Player link, and you just listen to like their post show, whatever. But they did a whole week in wrestling. It was a fantastic show. Went for a while, even up until a few years ago. They restructured everything around, but the show shut down. But live audio wrestling, The Law, it was called. Such a good show. If anybody in the chat remembers that, I'd be dying to know if anybody remembers that.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I have no clue on the Taxman's age. I don't know if that's his.
I think it's around our age. Yeah, he would know. I'm sure Taxman would know about it. But Jay, it was such a great show. Great show. They would talk
love
about
this.
everything.
The comment of the night so far.
Yeah, what do we
Matt
got?
Spain.
What do you say?
I'm 14 and I am so lost.
You're only 14? Matt Spain? LA is hanging out with us. How about that, Matt?
A throwback show, Matt Spain. I love it.
You were not even born when this show we're about to talk about took place. That's amazing.
Oh, we're old.
You are. Fuck.
Oh, I thought maybe you meant he's 14, like back when we're talking about this.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. Even
Is that what it means? He's like 14 in 2003?
Even still, he's still younger than us. But let's hop in here, guys. September 3rd, 03 at the Asylum, number 61. Opening up with the recap of the of number 60. The setup to the match. They had a lot of big words, a lot of buzzwords hitting the screen.
Control.
Yeah. I was wondering if any of you wrote them down.
I didn't write them all down.
I was like, controversy.
Yeah, controversy. A lot of C's.
A lot of C's. You notice it was like every word was with the C. You know, like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, just a lot of C, like buzzwords. But
we do have confirmation from Matt here.
Yeah. He's 14 now.
Man.
Hey, all right.
Oh, young bone. Right.
Young bone.
Now that's a young buck.
That's a young buck for sure. That's a real young buck. 14. But first match. Okay, so this opening match is weird. It started off on a weird note. Lazz. Never heard of Lazz. But he's like a flamboyant character.
Yeah, they said he was doing explosion.
Right.
A lot.
He kind of looks like that Danhausen who's out now. The paint was like that Danhausen-ish. But he was dressed like
Stang.
Like Stang, but like dressed like Vampiro, but like
act like
Bruce.
Brucey.
Exactly like Bruce.
Gold Dust.
Yeah. It just hypersexual, character.
Adrian,
exotic Adrian Street, which Mike TNA references there. Just that, there's a lot of the innuendo, right? Like the humping and the touching and all that stuff. Against Mad Mikey, who's super over. People are crazy for Mad Mikey, though. They're Mikey. I love TNA getting in on it, though. At one point, Lazz is does a doggy style hump to Mad Mikey, and
with the ref behind Lazz. Yeah.
But did you catch TNA here? Either you catch TNA? He's like, I'm going to give you some background information on Lazz. I go, Jesus Christ, man. TNA's getting in on this? But
oh, man. Yeah.
Mike Posey's the ref here, by the way, too.
Yes.
Who's AEW now, I believe, right?
Yes.
He's AEW ref.
Yes.
He was in Impact almost right back when they were with audiences. He was the ref still.
Yeah, he came back. That's right. He was reffing again.
He was out in Vegas. I don't think he made Atlanta. So he didn't make the official last loop, but I almost feel like that may have been. I don't know if he was there. I don't know if he was there.
He was doing it.
He may have been, but he was definitely in Vegas the one before.
Okay,
he might have done a taping or something. Yeah,
he was still he was wrestling too part-time during all this time too. I remember he was still wrestling. He was doing a little bit of everything, but he's one of those guys who he happened to make it more as a ref, even to this day. So good for him. But Mikey wins, does like a double arm DDT. Just a quick match. It had to be 2 minutes. Could have been anything.
It was real quick. It was like you blink, you miss this one.
Yeah, I mean he definitely. I mean I'm surprised Mike today didn't make like a premature finish, just like some kind of sexualized. Okay. I don't know. Hey, prematurely finished there, Don. I don't know, but Don West, by the way, electric blue on blue. Wow, Don West looking sharp in electric blue.
I like the electric blue on blue.
I look good. Today. We go to the back. Terry, no, Scott Hudson's gone. Bill, he's gone.
Oh, I wait. Hold on. I gotta. What did I write down here? When
there's notes on this, huh?
There's notes. I was like, no Scott Hudson. The Red Rooster lives. Yes.
He looks good. Terry looks good here. He's
and that's all you need. That's all I need.
He's simple.
That's all I need. Either you do something like Goldie does, where you're letting the talent kind of, let's just say, I don't want to say use the announcer to play off of,
right?
Or you do it how Terry does it. You just throw out, all right, here's some questions, let the talent get over. You don't do the Hudson, and it kind of made it about himself. And I didn't like that about Scott Hudson.
As you mention it more, like especially in comparison to like Terry, he sets it up and he gives you the mic. That's it.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean there.
Like you're not Mean Gene Okerlund, Scott Hudson. I don't need you getting yourself over.
But Terry's good. Terry Taylor's nice. He's with Dusty Rhodes here to talk about Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday. You know, very J-Bo, you do it pretty good, Dusty Rhodes. Go ahead.
He was with Terry Taylor talking about Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday.
Can I take that back? I thought he did a good Dusty Rhodes at them. Yikes, J-Bone.
That got turned worried when people are saying you do a good Sammy. It's like, hopefully they're not like that.
But he's talking about how he holds the key to the war games, and he ends it weird. You guys catch this? He ends it with, every time I'm in the war games, I think about all the times I kicked Arn Anderson's ass.
Yes, I wrote down all the times I kicked Arn Anderson's ass.
And they went off the
definitely some beef with Arn here. Double A.
It was a weird like inside joke or something. I don't know what that was meant to be, but it was meant to be something. But a little shot of Double A on that. I thought that was funny.
Hold on.
Yeah,
your boy, the young Matt Spain, loves the bell.
He loves the bell. Thank you, Matt Spain.
Yeah, he said he's waiting for the props to get involved.
No, they're out, guys. They're out. The props are here. I have another one. I have 3 props. One I have not debuted yet.
Oh, RK Shuttleworth trying to get me here. Impact should hire Matthew Palmer as a backstage interviewer.
What
are you doing, Shuttleworth?
Palmer wasn't even born at the time. Okay?
I think RK's in the treehouse tonight.
There was no Matt Palmer at the time. The kid wasn't around. But no. So they ended kind of with that Arn Anderson shot, which I thought was funny. But we go from that. So we go right to this episode was moving fast. You guys catch this? There wasn't a lot of fluff.
It did have a pace to it.
Again, I think
it was X Division match, Terry Taylor interview. X Division match, Terry Taylor interview. There was a back and forth, real smooth thing to it, and it went quick. I would have loved some of these early X Division matches to go a little quicker, but I understand why they didn't, because this was a one night tourney, and man, it was a banger.
Yeah. Honestly, it seemed, and we'll kind of get into it, but when you re-see some of the talent, it's like, did they cut a lot of time out of this? Because like that guy was just out. Did they really come back out like 10 minutes later?
It seemed like it. It seemed like it, man. I was like, God damn, I think again they overdid themselves because they allowed a lot of time for the war games at the end.
That's what it was. They were rushing. But
the thing is, then you also booked this tournament on the same show. It's like,
remember the hard 10 and that freaking thing. Let's start two things on the same night. And the only thing, and we love him, but Uncle Vince. Yeah. This is classic Uncle Vince right now.
Yeah,
overbooking on a night. It's like, let's do a big war games. That's all you do that night, or you do the Super X Cup.
I agree.
You don't do them both in one night.
Yeah. Just build to the one. That's all you needed to do. Just build up to the one, because it was like you're rushing through the tournament, then you're trying to set up for the war games. But I mean, they gave some of the semi and the final some time on the tournament, but it was like, man, it's like there were, because there was no other fluff in between the show. There's really no backstage antics in the show.
And Terry Taylor, I think, also was part of that, because it was like quick. It was like back to Terry, bam. Lead your question, answer, bam, back. Like it was
pretty much what it was. It was just ping ponging, ring.
Except for, and we'll talk about it later, the red shirt security.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Like it's like let's shoehorn this in.
That was
Oh, the interrogators,
yeah. But let's so let me get my notes back up here. So probably first match, it's the International X Division bracket. It's Juventud taking on Nosawa, who's from my
first juice of Impact.
That's right, the first. And he came right out with that music, though, guys. That same. We got a Latin guy. Same fucking music.
Well, you know who says something about that music? There's only one guy we can ask about that.
God. What we got?
We're back in the cut. We're serious like a late period.
I tell you.
Oh, thank God he joined another group.
But they go with that music, and Juventud's out. But he's super over. People are really excited to see him because I think they said the last time he was on was I don't know if you guys wrote. I think episode 6 or something was the last time he was on.
Yes, it was. It was an early episode.
Yeah,
They said 6 months ago. Yeah,
it's crazy to think though. Tanay tells you he's only 28 at the time. Juventud at this time.
Oh,
But didn't he come back during the Mass Luchador stuff?
Maybe.
Wasn't Juice? And I feel like they forgot he did.
Maybe. I don't know.
I remember. I think he came in for 1 week when he was going through all those luchadors. But I'm nearly certain Juice came, and that had to be what in the 40s.
That was definitely in the 40s. Actually, but in the 50s, to be honest. The Mass Mass Luchador probably in the 40s, late 40s into the early 50s. You're right. So yeah, maybe he was around then. I don't know. Unless
I think
Tanay
he did a
was
one-off. I think it's rare that we catch Tanay and maybe not. It's something correct.
Or maybe I miss. I'm not.
But I got the impression too. He said an early one, unless I misheard it. But
Like it'd been a long
I misheard it the same way as you. That they acted like it was forever ago. But
right,
maybe forever ago was 2 months ago.
He exactly like it was a long time. Like it had been ages since he'd been there. But super over. Nosawa was representing Psychopathic.
You can't say it that way. This is the throwback.
Oh yeah, he's pretty over. I gotta say, Big Man said he was over. He was over. But
one thing they said about Nosawa. Now, I'd never heard of this guy before, so I don't know how popular he was back then.
A little bit of a buzz at the time.
Apparently, Oreo loves Nosawa. She's putting in her 2 cents worth from the other side of the door there. Please forgive her. They said that Nosawa is with the ICP guys, and that he is their world champion in JCW wrestling,
Juggalo Championship Wrestling.
Still around.
Get your magnets ready.
Yeah, get your magnets ready.
Hey, I didn't say it that time. That's all this guy.
Well, I'm trying to relate to you there, J-Bone.
I did think that. I was going to try to put a quick, little sound bite related to magnets or something, but I was like, no, I enjoyed this episode too much. So,
but
I'll save it for when they show up. Then I'll really let the roof off. It's
fair enough. Yeah, they do refer to that. He's representing the Psychopathic Records logo on his trunks.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nosawa had a little bit of a buzz at the time. He wasn't like, I don't want to say crazy over, but a little cult following. He was kind of going between Mexico and Japan at the time. But
interesting trivia. He's the JCW champion during this.
Yeah,
a future JCW champion makes his debut on this show.
Oh, really? We got to tell us now. You want to wait till we get to that?
Well, I think he's in the next match.
Oh, okay, all right. Hoovy wins this one with Hoovy driver in 450. It was fast, but it looked cool. Hoovy's really over here though. By the way, the crowd is bananas on this episode.
Yes, and I am noticing a new addition to the crowd in this episode.
What do you got?
I call him Middle Finger Teen. And it's he's in the front row,
okay,
just off the center hard cam.
Okay.
And he's like standing on the rail for he's slightly elevated, and he's just birding some guy on the other side for at least 3 matches in a row.
Are you serious?
Yes. It starts during this match.
That's awesome. I did catch the kids there. I didn't see him birding anybody. That's awesome. He's like, "Look, you goddamn it."
I'm sure it was just like that.
Well, it's Nashville. Fuck you, motherfucker. Just a little pissed off kid.
He's probably like 23. He looked 15 to me.
This guy's probably got kids of his own now. But see, this starts, Bill, that ping pong back and forth, right? We go match and right back to Terry Taylor right here. Yeah. Terry Taylor, Sonny Siaki, Kaki Siaki, he's with Trinity. She's not saying. Trinity has really taken a back seat here.
Yeah, she doesn't even speak here. Yeah,
nothing. She's they're addressing Simon and Swinger, who basically aren't interested. It's like, come on, you gotta listen. I'm the ace in the hole. I'm the guy in charge. Now listen to me, follow the leader. And the franchise comes in, starts really hyping the match. That's really important. And he kind of sets everybody straight. So what I did like throughout the whole show, they're really pushing the cage match. It's like, that's important. They interview some people that you don't know how important this is. This is the match. So it had a lot of importance, which when we get in the match is fantastic. But as these are starting to happen throughout the show, it blows my mind, Bill, that this Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday, never gets talked about. It's a great cage match.
It is. They're promoting it right, because right there, like, when was the last? Was this because did MLW Early Inception do a War Games?
They did a War Games
near this time. Like, I don't know if it was a year before or a year after. It feels in this same area, because obviously they're doing a lot of digs at other people doing similar style matches.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was a recent one to talk about at the time.
Maybe the MLW one. I'm guessing
it could have been. Because I feel it was right around this time. It was that year or the next year. But
that's how you hype it throughout the 2 hours. I felt like this was the most important, violent, dangerous match I'm ever going to see, because everybody got in on it, right? And it was cool. I was like, all right, I'm in. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, and this is a company at this point. They did their first cage match not long ago. Like, they haven't done much cage match.
Right. And then even when they get to AMW, they mentioned that. But we go to so yeah, he's back there with James Mitchell. I'm sorry. Wait, let me go back.
Oh no, Mitchell was back there. It started with Mitchell, and then it evolved into a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, that's right. So Mitchell, he's asking when's enough, and he promised to teach Raven about real pain and loss, targeting his hair. I'm going to take your hair from you. So then Disco comes in, says, get your priorities straight. We need to focus on the match tonight. My guys can't get hurt tonight, so focus on that. Forget about Raven's hair. He's wearing a cowboy hat. He looks hilarious. But J-Bone, I almost had you make Disco in a cowboy hat the cover of this.
There you go.
The artwork for this.
Oh yeah, that would have been choice. Yeah, he said Disco said he's wanted to be out there because he's keeping an eye on Dusty. He doesn't trust Dusty because he's going to be the one that's holding the keys to the cage, apparently.
Yes. So Disco's out there because one thing I was a little initially confused about was Dusty in the match. They made it sound like Dusty was going to be in the match, but he wasn't in the match. He was technically on the outside, kind of they're managing him. So it was
the first promo makes you think he's in the match.
That's the thing. Like, even Latin the week prior, I kept thinking Dusty's in the match.
Yeah,
he's not. So it's a little confusing on that end. But even Disco, like, I kept thinking Disco was, but then he wasn't either. But either way, it's kind of like they're like. There's a little tidbit to that. We'll get to when we get to the main about that I love about it. So that's how they play it up. All right, what do we got next here? So we go from that right to match 2. So ping pong, Bill, boom, ping pong, boom. Back and forth. Set up match 2. This is an interesting debut here too, actually. And that's the guy,
the future Juggalo champion.
All right, set it
Teddy
up.
Hart makes his debut.
Oh, that's the shirt. That's why I got the shirt on today.
well, this is the Swingman shirt.
No, the shirt on the outside. That's
the shirt on the outside. Yes.
Yeah, that's
got
Teddy
Hart
going. Is that actually his? Did you buy it off Teddy?
It is. It is.
Oh, it is.
Nice.
Oh.
So yeah, so this is his debut, obviously. And this is his. Well, they even pump it up that it's his debut for television. Even though you're on weekly pay-per-view, it's like his first TV, like his first TV at the time.
Okay.
So, which is. It's weird because I remember Wrestling Society X, but I guess it was just after this Wrestling Society X. I gotta look at the time frame because it feels like so ancient history to me. Wrestling Society X. It feels like it was before this to me.
Yeah,
because it was just so long ago, and it was the one season. It just feels like such a blur how long ago that was.
Yeah,
but yeah, so they talk about that. Jonny Storm we've seen before.
Yeah,
but definitely you got 2 guys there, some high flyers. Good Super X Cup, and it's Canada versus Britain here for the world aspect of it. I'm just seeing that let's see, did TNA put over anything else? But there was a crowd holy shit chant during this.
There was a few throughout the show, man, because the spots that Teddy Hart and others were doing during these X Division matches were just batshit bonkers, man.
Well, I want to say too, Bill, you might have been at this show, the Ring of Honor show that got Teddy Hart in a lot of trouble. It was around this time. The one where he was jumping off.
He was doing more
cage.
Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah. There was the one.
I wasn't at that one though.
Okay.
I made a few. I didn't go to a ton of Ring of Honor at this point. But I know what you're talking about. That was an infamous.
Well, he did a thing.
Beginning of many infamous things.
Yeah. Well, he did a thing where he started jumping up top of the cage and like doing all sorts of crazy moves, not selling, kind of fucking with the finishes. Like he went overboard and he got a lot of heat. But that's interesting. Around this time, this TNA loop, I think this is the night, this very night, when him and CM Punk got into a fist fight. I think this is the one.
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Famous story about him beating the shit out of CM Punk at a Waffle House. And that I think this is it because CM Punk's he's there. He's at these tapings.
Yeah.
And I know because he's in that gathering segment in the back. This might have been the night that it happened. And I remember because they got in some huge brawl and it was like a famous thing where he
smothered and covered.
Yeah, smothered and covered. He wrote it for years. He fucking beat CM Punk's ass or something, man.
Oh God, still does.
Well, he saw his MMA career.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you what, I gotta say, Teddy he was really good though. What he does, the guy was so talented, and it's such a shame though. Like the way the career has gone.
Oh yeah, because you're looking back then.
Oh,
you're God. Like that guy's going to be superstar. Like he's got all the tools.
Yeah.
But then obviously, like because I from there, Wrestling Society X, like he signs a WWE developmental deal probably within 2 years of this.
Yeah, he was there, and he's gone pretty quick there too.
But that's the thing; it's had a lot of problems, a lot of different issues.
Yeah,
all different kinds of stuff like that. It was like. I guess like too early, like not ready, I guess, coming up in that, but obviously had all the training and the skill set. And that's why, like you've seen it up even not long ago, he kept making comebacks over all these years because the talent's there. He can always kind of pull it out.
Yeah.
He always shows up somewhere. You know, we had him at AAW. Excuse me. We had him at AAW. Nicest guy in the world. He's extremely nice when he talks.
Very nice. Yeah. I met him. I met him, Pillman Jr. and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Oh, cool.
When they were the Hart Foundation at MLW, when they did that massive 6-hour taping at freaking just like 10 minutes from here. Yeah. It's crazy. And Milwaukee, right outside of Milwaukee. Yeah.
He's like the nicest guy in the world. And Brian's in the chat, so he'll know. He could even vouch for us. He's such a charm. I think that's why he's so damn charming. You know, he makes for like $1 million.
He's very good to the fans. Very good to the fans.
He is, and the crew. He
gives time to everybody. It's more issues with, but even like most of the wrestlers get along very well with him. It's just like you get those few instances for.
It's his outside antics, you know what it is. Really, it's more everything that happens on the out. I don't think anything happens in the locker room. It's more what happens on the outside.
Well, yeah, CM Punk at Waffle House.
Yeah. But I tell you, I saw Punk early on over here in the early days and whatnot. He's never been a nice guy. He's just never been a nice guy. I used to work out the same gym as him. I used to see him at the gym all the time. Never cool. Guy just never a nice guy. I was like, whatever, man. I never liked him because he rubbed me wrong in 2002. When I met him in 2002, before he was a nobody, and I was like, fuck this guy.
See, but I'll tell you, if there's anything to learn from that right there, indie shows, when you're a young person in the business, that matters. People remember this stuff.
I remember.
That's where you make fans. That's where you make fans for life.
It's true. Whenever, no matter how the success. And funny, I got so much in common with CM Punk. Like I should be his biggest fan. Same birthday, straight edge guys, into metal and punk. You know, like Chicago guys. I'm like he's literally I should be his best friend. But the way he acted in 2002 and then later in 2014, 15, I saw you see him at the gym. I was like, he didn't change. He's never cool. I was like, fuck him. You know, he's still an asshole. Damn. I never forgot it, man. And you're right. If you're not cool people on the indies, they'll carry. People remember that shit.
Yeah,
but,
it's true.
It's true, man. But this was a great match. I wrote proving a lot. Both guys are out to prove a lot in this one. But Teddy's finisher, though, Jay, did you catch this? This finishing sequence was crazy.
Did he do the 450 or am I thinking of someone else?
Well, first he does a hop off, like delay, like pause in the air, and then DDT. What was that? What the hell was that move? The guy's hunched over. He jumps off the top rope, kind of onto the guy's shoulder.
It's like a DDT.
It's like a delayed DDT. He kind of hopped on the guy. Catches himself on the guy and then spikes it. Like, what the fuck was that? That was crazy.
Very inventive, man. Crazy.
He had a lot of holy shit chants during the night because he's in a couple matches here, and man, this Teddy Hart is so damn good here.
Right, man.
I mean, a little dangerous, but damn, he's good. You know,
he has to be with somebody who can work with him though. Like I feel like Storm kept up with him. Johnny Storm kind of knew where to go with him.
X Division, perfect fit.
Yes.
I wish he had more time. Like I really would think he could have been a pioneer kind of type of guy in the early X Division. If he could have kept it together, the fight didn't happen. This could have been a real innovator. But that delayed DDT thing was so cool. And then he did the heart attack finisher after that. Such a great talent though. Great sequence at the end. I liked it, but then right back. I mean, ping pong and Bill. We go right back to Taylor and Siaki. I know. So my bad. I jumped ahead to this. So it was the Taylor and Siaki thing was right about here. The first one was Father James Mitchell. I think
that just shows you though it's very easy because they're so quick.
Yeah, they're so quick.
Yeah.
The Terry Taylor and Sonny Siaki thing was here where franchise came in and everything. So that's here. So it was the Father James Mitchell, which we already talked about. And then I think we got distracted. I ended up saying both of the Terry Taylor segments back to back. So this Siaki one comes here. Then right back to a match. What an ace-hole. Back to a match.
What was hilarious was Siaki's like trying to take charge, and he's talking to Swinger and Diamond, and they're holding their belts with a lot of pride. They're just kind of hanging out in the locker room, chilling, and Siaki's like, "All right, guys, here's the plan. Here's what we do tonight." And they're like, "Who's this knucklehead?"
It's funny when you hear Swinger talk now, though. That's the best part. When Swinger, because all I'm thinking is Swinger, like Arte's Johnny Swinger.
You guys swing?
I'm thinking that one because like he's tough guy, jacked and tan tough guy, and he's like, "Who the hell is this bonehead?" I was like,
but you know what? That line is reminiscent of today. Like I could feel him like going up to Tommy Dreamer and be like, "Yo, Dreamer, bonehead!" Like it was a very that line actually felt pretty today. It felt spot on.
I love me.
You're 20 years ago,
Johnny Swinger. What an amazing talent, man!
It's an institution.
God.
National treasure.
Basically, whatever his contract is with Impact, just double the contract now, because you know he's not going to leave. He's not. I don't want if he goes anywhere, I'm fucking out. I'm out.
Yeah. If he's going down to Tony Khan,
I'm out.
I'm done.
I told people, I'm like, there's certain things that if this just happens, I'm done. Like if Johnny Swinger goes, I'm out. Okay, forget it. If you hear some news tomorrow that Khan bought an Impact, I'm done. I'm not even watching anything anymore. I'm out of the game. There's just certain things that there's institutions. Johnny Swinger is an institution. Impact being its own
firm, but I'm fair.
Yeah, bastard. Yeah, bastard. I keep hearing he's a really nice guy, though. Honestly, I keep hearing he's a real nice guy. But all I know is I know the heel. That's all I know is the one I see in front of me. That's all I know. I got to go off what I see in front of me.
That's what he wants to present to us Impact fans.
I was told that some of our fans, some of our listeners, were saying he should come on our show as a guest, and we can talk to him about his early. He was a big TNA fan apparently. That's what I heard. I heard. Well, I'm told he grew up a huge TNA fan. He watched it all. He watched the Asylum.
I don't think you want to hear stories like that, Trent.
No. Why?
If he was a big TNA fan, that what you just said as a possible deal breaker makes that's not a good thing.
I want it all. Who knows?
I got a lot of daddy's money. I really like something.
Let's get off the subject.
Yeah.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding for that. Now we're in the U.S. bracket over here, so it's going to be Sabin and Jerry Lynn. Classic These two have had an amazing feud for years or for years.
So good.
It was quick though, because I mean, they were back and forth. It was real fast, real action, like fast paced, action packed, hard hitting. These two have such good chemistry, but at one point, Rudy kicks Jerry's hands off the ropes, and then he doesn't get the pin. Sabin. Jerry goes to start yelling at Rudy. He's about to punch Rudy. Callis comes out on the.
I have seen that penis.
Furthering the Callis and Jerry feud. He's saying, I've seen that penis, Jerry Lynn. And he says, you touch that official, I'll fire you, Jerry Lynn. I'll fire you, God damn it. If you touch him in the penis, I'll fire you, whatever. But, speaking of that, then Sabin nut shots him and gets the win. That was a nut shot.
I had a purpose.
It had a purpose. He definitely nut shot him and gets the win. That was it.
Oh God!
But these two had such great chemistry. That feud that lasted like 3 months between these guys, Jay. Huh? These two were just. It was awesome for like the 4 or 5 minutes. It was a great match.
It was good. But Jerry Lynn, he's got the darker goatee going on here. He's starting to lose it. That's one thing I wrote down here is Lynn is starting to really lose it.
Yeah, it's like Callis is breaking him. That's the whole thing, right? He's just breaking him internally with everything he can. I'm surprised. I don't remember. Does it lead to a match between those two? I know Callis fights Watts because that clip went out on Impact Socials, but I can't remember if Jerry ends up fighting Callis at some point. I don't know. I might be wrong.
I don't know.
But we'll see. We'll see where that ends up going. It seems like it's been going on a little long, I gotta say, but a little longer than I wanted to. It's just it's a lot of like him just threatening Jerry constantly. So I'm like, all right, well, what are we going with it? What's the end game on this feud? So Sabin advances. That's Sabin on there. Where we at here? It's back and forth. Now we're right back. Set up the next one. But I'm gonna let Bill take the Terry Taylors because it's not Scott Hudson. Go ahead.
Well, now he's with Raven. Yeah, he's talking about like he's gonna get rid of Shane Douglas. Well, and then CM Punk and Julio are gonna take care of the new church.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the red lighting here.
Yeah, I didn't have any killer. Oh, you're right. It was dark. It was ominous.
What bothered
but
me,
I didn't have any like Raven one-liners like I normally get.
So I'll tell you what. Yeah, because he talks about Mitchell's thread of the hair. What got me with this one though, I'll tell you guys. There's a lot of noise from the locker room coming here.
There is some noise, and you're right.
Quite a bit, and it's one of those
noticeable.
Things, it's one of those things where like I felt it took away from the moment because Raven's supposed to be in the quiet, ominous, dark room, and then you just hear the locker room on the other side of the camera. Basically, they're all just bullshitting and talking.
Yeah.
Huge pet peeve of mine because when I do stuff at AAW, the big thing we shout is, shooting the promo, and everybody shut the fuck up, basically.
Yeah.
Shoot the promo. It was like, I'm surprised nobody did that here. Like the whole locker room just chit-chatting away during all this.
It's the problem when you're doing a live pay-per-view and cutting promos, a lot of them at the same time or close to it. Because like I know like the Impact Zone days or any really of Impact over the last half dozen years, like you'll get to a show and they'll open the doors late because they're still filming inside. Yeah, because they're getting the promos for that reason to not have the sound. But like Explosion, we would notice that because they may have been rushing things around like that.
Very true.
So they're very different how they're approaching it. So I get why it's not a perfect production based on that, but obviously that's the goal. Like it's a little extra time, a little extra coordination, but definitely worth it in the end. Much more professional product.
The one funny thing that I saw from this, you got to go back and see this.
It was
the red lighting, and Julio's down in the front corner of your screen, and right behind him is Raven. And on the opposite side of the screen is Terry Taylor reaching across with his microphone, and he kept covering up CM Punk. So there's a couple times where CM Punk, he's like, he's sitting on an angle just down to the side of Raven, and then he would look over and notice that he's like in, big elbow in the way of the camera, and you see CM Punk like adjust how he's sitting so his head gets noticed. It's just kind of comical, like, hey, fucker, you covered me up,
I noticed you could barely see him. You're right. I didn't catch that back and forth. That's interesting. That's funny. I can see that happening. I mean, you're a young guy at that moment. You're like, fuck, there's my camera time. There that goes. Thanks a lot, Terry Taylor.
Like you should have had both of them down on the ground in front of Raven, and then have Terry Taylor up behind them next to Raven, and that would have been perfect. But it was wonky. But
come on, it's Terry Taylor, and only one guy could say
proud as a peacock.
Knew it. I knew it. I knew
or
it.
a rooster.
I knew it was coming. Still went out for the Red Rooster, guys. The sad one of the guy went from being a territory icon Mid-South. Terry Taylor was like headlining the Superdome against Ric Flair. I'll never forget that. It's actually phenomenal match. I think they went an hour. Terry Taylor and Ric Flair. If you could ever get your hands on that tape, it's a phenomenal match.
I love Terry Taylor prior to the Red Rooster, because that just didn't. I mean, I was excited that he came to WWE, and I thought the gimmick was okay, but they just did nothing with him from what I remember.
If any of you can get your hands on Taylor and Flair, I want to say it's 80, maybe 86, maybe. Great match. I mean, it's like this dude can go, but the Red Rooster just. One of the new props for the night. I need more props. I need to be like Fred Norris, man, where he's got the sound bank of shit.
There you go.
Squeaky hammers, Now they got it all on digital. I gotta get one of those digital sound things. Brian, you gotta maybe go with me and get one of those. Set me up one of those sound effect gimmicks or something.
Yeah, he has that gimmick.
He's got it. He's got the voice changer, which is that's smooth.
Give you some Twitch love.
Twitch love. Where's that? Yeah, Brian's even mentioned. Proud as a peacock, $5.99. Where's Mark when you need him? They
actually got an introductory special. Never mind. We shouldn't talk about that.
Take it easy, J-Bone. Take it easy. Not that kind of throwback.
I'm sorry. I was like all excited this morning. I signed up for the cocks.
Signed up for the cock. Got some cock in you. It's good. Cock in the house. All right. Match number 2 of the U.S. side of the bracket. Kaz and Michael Shane. Standard match. Another classic between these two. They made reference how Kaz keeps pinning Shane, but he can't get the belt. And but Kaz pins him again. Kaz wins here too. So it's kind of like he keeps beating the guy, but he's like the title eludes him on this. So clearly setting these two further, which is great. But I don't have anything special noted. It was just a really solid match. Nothing too crazy here, right?
Just
Kaz frustrated.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But he wins, which is good. Kaz still wins.
TNA does note if Kaz beats Shane, he will probably be the number 1 contender to the X title.
I'd imagine at this point he has to be. Ping pong it again. Terry with AJ and Russo in the back. I like this. I want to spend a minute on this. This was great. Now, I don't know if you guys took anything away from this. I love that he asked him, "Why are you even in this match?" And he's like, "Good point. I don't know why I'm in this match." But it was interesting because it made me think, like, why is he in this match? And he brings it up. He's like, they want to distract me. They want to basically they're trying to tie him up. Is what I'm trying to remember how he put it. You guys remember how he put it? Basically, there was a reason he gave.
Well, Vince says TNA's trying to hurt AJ.
Yeah, that's right.
In this match,
that's right. We'll break him down.
Yeah,
have all the faces take shots at him, weaken him a little bit.
Weaken up, soften up the champ.
Soften the champ up. And he's like, because AJ says, I have nothing to do with these guys. I got nothing to do with any of these guys. None of them are contenders to me. You know, these aren't my fights. I don't care about these people. That's their problem. But they threw me in this match to kind of get me in front of everybody and break me down and get me beat up. So I like that they put the logic in, you know, to say like he knows he's getting screwed being in the match basically. And we need a better AJ clip for casual AJ moment. I mean, that didn't deserve that.
Casual AJ.
That's casual AJ. Him on a weekend.
That's extremely casual.
Well, it's a dripping AJ.
I knew once we mentioned Peacock that would happen. That's a
different kind of drip, though.
God, I can't believe that shirt got passed. I cannot believe that shirt got passed. Unreal to me. How did that shirt get? How did AJ model for it and go, guys? What are we doing here?
This is a good idea.
This is great. Can't wait to buy this for Christmas. You know what? How does he not say, hey, wait a minute? What the hell did I sign off on here? Shit.
I'm an upstanding citizen.
He wishes. He wishes. I saw a clip of I was flipping on Twitter today, and some clip from I think Jay, you must have watched on Raw. It was AJ scoring off at somebody. He's got some big bodyguard dude, you know, like some big dude as a bodyguard.
Oh, 7 foot, almost.
Yeah. And he's like making a challenge for a tag team title. Like, that's our little AJ right there. They're all grown up. Look at our little boy AJ. Our little boy AJ. I felt like I watched him grow up, even though he's older than me. He's like 4 years older than I am. And I'm like, look at our guy. He's all grown up now. Should come home though. It's been long enough.
No more
crazy.
splats.
Come home, AJ. Come home. You got enough money. Just come.
Someday.
He's got to do one.
Him and the Good Brothers, just like New Japan.
Just
good. Howdy ho, brother.
Howdy ho, brother. I know AJ Styles has enough money. It's not about the money anymore. I think it's just, you know, he's got 5 kids. I think he's just setting up the cushion now at this point. Get out by 50, you know, or whatever. Just set it all up. Retired 50. I'm out. He looks great, though. I will say, to this day, in my opinion, not to divert too much here, I don't know how many people agree. In my opinion, I think he's the greatest of this generation. I think he's the most versatile guy to come out of this generation. And my thing with that is, like, I'm not an Edge fan. I'll use him as an example. People like love Edge, and I go, well, he's a one company. To me, he's a one company, one style guy. He's been in one company and one style for like his whole career, basically, right? I look at a guy like AJ, and I'm like, this guy did TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, WWE, international tour, European stuff, Australian stuff.
Yeah,
he wrestled people from all over the world, different, and that's the top guy in every company. I'm like, that to me is like incredible. I think he's absolutely one of the best. WCW also, Brian, you're right. He was there in WCW. The guy's done it all, man.
Within the last couple of years, I think it was. Yeah.
He's an incredible talent. And I'm like, and the reason I bring that up is because like if you watch the throwback stuff, you see the genesis of that. That's the where it all started, really. Like the age, and you see it from like day one, huh, Bill? Basically, he's a star from the first episode.
Oh yeah, and it's definitely an evolution of AJ over the years. But yeah, you're seeing him. This is really where he's starting to cut his teeth with promos and stuff like that. Like, and was he great? No. Does he get better? Yes, he gets better. He finds his niche for where he fits in, but he always had the in-ring talent. Like that was never debatable. Like it's a great example, kind of seeing him on that show with a Teddy Hart, where you kind of see the same thing. A guy with all the ability in the world, he can cut a promo and all but it's like, it's just, you have to work to keep it all together as well. And AJ always did. Like he's a pro's pro. And he's, when you go that Mount Rushmore of TNA Impact, he's definitely on there.
He's my first entrant for sure. Yeah. But what I'm getting is, if you guys, anybody who's new, like Matt Swain's only 14. Matt, if you watch AJ now, you're a kid. If you're watching AJ in WWE or something now, watch the throwbacks, because this is where the guy started, and you see like him, 20 years younger almost, and it's like you think he's great now. It's mind-boggling shit that he was doing back then.
Yeah, it's fun watching him. It's love Russo or hate him or whatever your opinion of is now, but man, it's just Russo guiding him here.
Great
being
tenure.
that mentor or manager, whatever you want to call him here. Man, they're a great team. It's almost reminiscent of. You could agree to disagree or whatever, but it almost reminds me of what Callis is doing with Kenny Omega right now. I see similarities. I do.
Absolutely. That's a great comparison, Jay. That's a great comparison. I think you're right. He's kind of the mentor. By the way, Callis's promo on Tuesday was chef's kiss. Go if you missed it, go watch Cal. I watch Rich's reaction to that promo. Oh, the way he's shifting his face and kind of feet. Oh,
if you like that, and I know you're not a big AEW fan, listen to what he does with the Young Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
similar?
Watch for that clip. Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like he kind of comes in out of nowhere, like, what the hell's he doing with the Young Bucks? Yeah, just watch it.
Send it over to me if you can find it. I'll check it out. So we go to all right, round 2, Bill. Round 2, Teddy Hart and Hoovy. This, I think, is one. There was a tough contender for show stealer, but oh man,
I think it might have stolen. This
was nuts.
When we've talked about these, like occasionally we'll get to a match and it'll be like, this is one of the best matches so far in their history.
Yeah,
I'm putting this one in there. This is in that list.
I wrote the same thing. I'm like, this has to be in like a top X Division list.
Yeah, like I go beyond X Division, like definitely X Division for long term, but I go company at this point.
Great.
What are we, a little over a year in? This is definitely in my top 10. This might be top 5. It's close. It's hovering probably near the top 5 spot.
It's an unreal match. By the way, my buddy Guillermo's in the chat, and Guillermo's a huge Teddy Hart fan. Guillermo, that is Bill right there is actually wearing Teddy Hart's shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a real Teddy Hart shirt. He's a huge Teddy Hart guy. So I'm with you, Bill. This is like mind-blowing match, though. I wrote down Hart was so talented. Like this kid he's like 22 at the time. It's fucking crazy. Unreal.
Just crazy athleticism in this match.
Both of them.
And that's the thing. Yeah, Juice at this point, he can still go. Like he's right there with them, and the styles mesh perfectly together. And like you said earlier, because I know like Jay was like, it could be a little dangerous. These are two guys that have that similar. You want to say crash Lucha? That's a lot of this, but it was tamed. It wasn't reckless, this match, but it was high flying. It really was something you weren't seeing yet in wrestling. This is a sneak preview of really 10 years into the future. This match.
That's for sure. Jay, what did you think about this? This was
this was practically match of the night. Yeah. It's hard to argue with that one. It's because they were both so good at this point. I wanted both to go forward, but I kind of knew who was going to go. The veteran here goes, but Teddy Hart is, man.
Yeah, he sticks. If he were to have stuck around, who knows? But that you could tell, like debut gets through that first round, and then has this type of match in the second round. Because I was with Jay, like, yeah, you knew Hoovy was at least getting to the finals here. But it was like Teddy Hart probably had an X Division title run in him. If he's there 2 months from then, he's the champion.
No doubt.
And you know what? In those highlights they show on Twitch during Impact on Tuesdays, I think they've shown highlights or the finish of Sabin versus Hoovy a few times, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe they just shared it recently on social media, because all of a sudden, as soon as I saw this, I felt like I saw it before, like not too long ago.
I think. But man, what a great showing by both guys. I think these two knocked it out of the park. Hoovy does win, top rope Hoovy driver with the finish. So that was a good finish. All right, the next one's weird. J-Bone, since you love the interrogators, I'm gonna let you set this up. This was a weird. This was not my favorite interrogators, though. I gotta say, it was not my favorite one.
No, it was. it was awkward because we don't see a lot of these guys unless they're just running interference in another segment or after a match or something awkward. You know, it's like, oh, it's not black shirt security, it's red shirt security. But they're always messing with Jarrett, or they're always messing with Raven, or they bounce in later. We see that. So it's, but they actually give them names here because they don't call them by name too much on TV from what I remember before. Is it Brian Wilson or Ryan Wilson?
Ryan Wilson.
Okay. And Kevin Northcutt. And Kevin Northcutt does all the talking here until the very end segment, and Wilson chimes in with his 2 cents. And but yeah, a lot of it's the whole boom, 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 answer. And they're total heels, so they're just backing that whole thing up. But
one thing I learned from this, though, Northcutt says he was in the power plant. I didn't know that.
So he puts over the guy in the power plant instead of
Bob
Tyson.
Sapp.
Yeah,
Bob Sapp, who ended up wrestling for All Japan.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He said, I trained Bob Sapp in the power plant. I go, wait a minute. North goes in the power plant? So I'm guessing he was after that class that did the new Natural Born Thrillers class. Because remember, those guys came up. They were all power plant guys. They all came up to TV pretty young. I imagine Northcutt was probably the class after them because he didn't come up with that group. So, because they came up in 2000, right? And I imagine he had to be in the one after them. Maybe. I'd like to learn about it a little bit. But he's a big dude. I still say that guy needed a better gimmick or something to take him with, because he was a big, scary looking dude, man.
And the guy could talk here. He's not like,
he could talk.
Like gold promo, but I mean, he's answering questions and he's, boom, 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 so
he's confident, like the way he talks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just nothing crazy. Wilson says nothing until the end. He just says that's the last word, and then they leave. That was it.
It's like, oh, that was good. That was really good.
Back to the matches though. We go boom, boom, back to the matches.
Yeah.
U.S. Finals. Kaz and Sabin. It's a semi sort of to who's going to face Hoovy here now. My notes. I wrote top 20, one of the top 20 X Division matches of all time, hands down. I think this is one of the absolute best X Division matches I've ever seen in 20 years.
And I mistakenly, what I said earlier about Kaz being frustrated, I meant this match. I screwed up my matches.
Yeah, because Sabin wins this one.
Right.
I was like, was he frustrated in the one he won? Yeah, I missed that. But no, he
well, he should be frustrated because this was a great match.
Yeah.
But I still think Teddy and Hoovy stole the show.
They had
this better X Division match, and this was a great match.
Great match,
but I think they edged them out. Like, this is at least if you can separate yourself and look at it as just a one night, just viewing this match, not history and what happens with guys, just pure this viewing of these two matches, I give it to the other match by not by a ton, but by a hair.
Right. I'm with you.
I hear you. It was, and maybe it's just more my style, a preference. But this is a great match too, because you're right. That's probably a top 20. Like, I agree, definitely a top 20. Like, if I said the other one is around top 5 matches in the company at this point, this is still in the top 10. This is probably like 8. That's 5, and that's it, 8.
I think I know where you're at, because the other one, the style of the other one was just constant. Just car crash style, just in your face. Every second had something happening. This was your crisp move for move sequence style, but very clean match. The other one was just a wild fight, which is great too. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I prefer one or the other. I'm with you. It's kind of just like two different styles. And for what that first one was, it was unreal. Like, it was
which shows you the X Division, even at this point, how it can be something where you can have two matches very different in the same division, both kind of with that end result, the athleticism, but very differently do it. It's just kudos. The X division, take that cruiserweight, light heavyweight division and kind of turn it a little bit. Great start in the company right now with the X division.
And that's,
yeah.
So Jay, I think this, you know what we need though? Like seeing that diversity, we need more of that today. Like you got a lot of clean guys like Bay, Rohit, Ace. But you know, like throw some hardcore guys in there. Throw some wild car crash type guys, you know, into that X division.
Thornstow.
You need
Put them in
need there. You need a little more diversity, like Josh Alexander,
which is happening, which I like.
Yeah, he's in there, but you need a little more offshoots like that. Yeah. Thornstow would be just absolute gold in that division. A veteran, what we don't think of really as a veteran because he's only been in the company 4 years, but as we learned, he's going into his 20th year now in professional wrestling. It's like you don't think about him being around that long, but he's been around with Lester that long, which is it's hard to fathom, you know.
But I like the idea of like Taurus is, you know, could be in the X division also. Like you need some of that wildness in there too. That helps. You got
a little bit of lucha libre with him, obviously, but you've got a big guy like Samoa Joe, you know, so it's a combo deal with Taurus. Yeah.
Yep. What else? All right, so we go from that. Let's see here. Terry Taylor with AMW now in the back, hyping the match again. The importance is keeps drilled in. I love it. Show's pacing. I wrote here, show's pacing really fast. Like at this point, I'm like, man, we're flying through the show.
Oh yeah. The round 2 matches are longer than round 1.
Yeah.
But yes. Yeah.
Cash and Abyss walk in to apologize to Taylor, kind of. They take a shot at AMW. And Cash here was great. He's like, yeah, my dog left some tradition up in the front yard today. I kind of stepped in it. Take a look. And he pulls his bottom of my shoe, and he like pulls his shoe up, and then he slaps the shit out of Terry Taylor. I'm talking like slaps the shit out of him.
I was like, he straight up decked him, and they had to censor Terry Taylor. He got as red as the red shirt security shirts that tried to hold him back. He's like,
and the Red Rooster.
Yeah.
Did he call him a motherfucker? I could have sworn he said that.
He did. Yeah. Yeah, because that punch came out. He hit him good, and his face beat red.
Like a red like a rooster?
Yes.
He was in a red shirt.
Blanca doodle do.
He comes in. Well, red shirt comes in and stops him like immediately. They stop anybody from getting involved. But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's leading to a match with these two. We'll see. All right, then right back to finals. Boom, just ping ponging. Sabin and Hoovy take it now. Okay, I wrote a little thing down. I want you guys' opinion on this. This is such a nitpicky thing, but I think in the presentation sense, it makes sense. Borash did the ring announcing. I don't think he should be ring announcing. He's wearing like casual clothes, you know, like he's wearing his like everyday clothes, and it's a finals for a turn. And I get it. Okay, fine. It's wrestling. At the same time, you know, the big fight feel. They're trying to set a big fight feel. Having the ring announcer, we'll get the guy in the suit to do it. You know, like he later on starts wearing a suit. Borash, but here he's not. He's dressed in like a windbreaker. You know, slacks and just whatever. Looks like it's what he's wearing. I think he took away from it.
He looks like he's wearing sweaters like I wore in high school.
Right.
Like the boy band sweaters, you know.
I feel like he could have just very well been on the outside and doing it. I wasn't buying Borash here as the big fight feel ring announcer. I wrote down, you might as well put Tenay in to do it. Tenay could have done it. He has a tuxedo on at least, you know.
Well, they kicked him out of the last match, which I thought was effing hilarious.
Ridiculous match, and it's the third match for each of the guys today, which is the craziest part. That's the part that blows my mind. Like these guys have been working their asses off all night, Really cool. I mean, good match. I mean, I don't know where would you guys rank this one though, Bill?
I put this as, once again, I think we've now seen 3 matches, including this final, top 10 X Division matches up till this point.
No doubt.
I probably put this, maybe it's just I'm loving Hoovy tonight.
Could be.
I put this, it's really close to the Teddy Hart match with Hoovy. I think I got a lot of the same feel for it. So I put both of these matches just slightly ahead of the Kazarian Sabin match. But this is fantastic. It's neck and neck with that match. I couldn't pick a winner between the two. Like if I had to rate them, I'd probably give them the exact same rating.
Nice.
Yeah, and they give this one 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. This one had a little more time. And I think that's in 10 minutes, I'd probably still go the other one. But in 15, I'd give it like a tie.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
If they went 20 minutes, then it probably gets the win.
Cool. It was great. No question about it. Sabin wins. They kind of rushed the celebration. It was like, here's a trophy and we're off the air. Like we're going.
But there's no reason this shouldn't have been its own focus of a show.
I agree.
Three fantastic matches like this. But now we get something else that's going to take totally away from the whole show.
Like the reason this tournament never gets talked about is because, and consequently, the reason Wednesday never gets talked about. They're both they almost cancel each other out because there's too much on one show.
Yeah, at least eventually the Super X Cup does return.
And TNA does mention that, right? That it's going to be a regular thing.
Annual, yeah.
But this first one, it's like overshadowed. They never recap it. They never mention this is technically the first Super X Cup, and it never gets.
I'd have to look back. I don't know if Garrett on the Twitter account ever has put out any footage from this Super X Cup.
This one never.
Like J-Bone might be right. Like maybe there's somebody. There's been Super X Cups. Do they ever show? And these are 3 of the best matches.
I
That's
really
probably ever happened in the Super X Cup.
True.
Yeah.
It never gets any shine. I'd like to maybe we'll, as we hype this episode over the next week, I'd like to make a little call to attention to this one. So if any of you guys in the chat are watching this, bring this up. I mean, if you guys haven't watched it, go on Plus and just watch the tournament. Even if you're not gonna watch the whole show, watch the tournament. It's worth watching. They're very forgotten matches. They're just so damn good though. So check it out. But they rushed celebration. It was like, here's a trophy and fade to the next segment, right? And then it was another Rowdy Piper hype. He's coming and he's pissed or whatever. What did it say? He's coming back.
He's coming and he's
still pissed off. Yeah,
he's still pissed. Because
he was on fire last time we saw him.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Oh,
he accused Russo of killing Owen Hart, like right in the ring. That's a shoot. Holy shit. TNA and West hyped the 1 cent pay-per-view for next week. It's a best of though.
yeah.
So I'm wondering, based on if that's part of the sequence that we're watching.
Good question.
Do we
I still have it up? I'm looking to see how
take a look?
Placed it. Is that 60?
It should be 62.
Yeah.
Is it the best of?
Well, and it's on September 10th. I was thinking the 11th. So I'm wondering, okay, so this
is that why they took it off? Is that why they didn't do anything? Because you're only 2 years.
Yeah, I'm guessing 2 years out now.
I was like, for the how? Like, what are they taking this off for? But yeah, it makes sense. It was September 10th would be that one. So probably they probably timed the taping with that. But it was, they're gonna run a 1 cent pay-per-view, which Dave and I still, like a couple of marks, still ordered for a penny. Well,
and it's interesting when they mentioned the 1 cent pay-per-view, how I became a fan of this brand is another. Let's see, when they said the 1 cent pay-per-view, I was like, oh, I watched the 1 cent pay-per-view. So this isn't the only 1 cent pay-per-view they've done.
It is not. It is not on there. The next one, 62, is September 17th with Piper.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have it. Unless there's under something else, but it's not under the Asylum years. It goes from 61 to 62, but September 3rd to the 17th.
Okay. So it was just the greatest hits highlight thing. I was wondering if there's any exclusive interview stuff on there. It's that'll stay in the vault now. But I'm guessing nothing was really on. It was just a best stuff because he mentioned he's like
just knowing what Don West wore that day. I guess
that's true. I'm sure it was just one of because remember those it was the best stuff we did around the Christmas time stuff, and it was like just Goldie and Borash was hosting a couple matches. Like, all right, here's the best stuff for this best, whatever. So interesting. All right, good to know. So we're keeping in order, guys. We're 62 for us is going to be a new episode. It was just 2 weeks.
Yeah, it'll be the return of Piper.
Yes. And then now it's it. Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday. Any of you guys got the participants listed, the full list, if you want to list them up?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
This is the order of them, but it starts out, Eric Watts is in the ring. They get rid of all the ringside personnel for their safety because they're like, this is going to be nuts.
I think it's a great detail, by the way. That to me is like, that's awesome.
And it's also a way to bring in Three Life Crew. The Three Life Crew here, this inception of Three Life Crew, they're on TV for only a few weeks now. Hot, absolutely hot. So they're hopping around the ring. They got new T-shirts here, new merch that they're sporting. So they're trying to get the merch sold, obviously. Dave
has that T-shirt, by the way. The Real Life Crew T-shirt. Dave's got the
original
blue one. The original Three Life Crew.
He's got a lot of the original shirts.
He bought them. We both bought. So he was ordering them more than I was though, like from the website, because I think he got the American flag one, the baseball one. Now the rarest one, I'll tell you guys what, real quick. Total side note, Jay, the rarest one that they ever put out, and it got pulled like immediately. There was a Jeff Jarrett one. And it's a total nonsense. It was a silhouette. It was a play on the MLB logo, the batter guy, the MLB silhouette logo.
With the guitar.
With the guitar. And it's a total nonstop action. It's at a Major League Baseball. It got pulled within I'm talking a month. MLB put the kibosh on it.
You don't mess with MLB.
You had to but it was if that's a shirt, if you got that shirt.
Dave doesn't have that, or does
we both tried to get that one.
Great.
That was a rare.
I like that.
Dave got the Three Life Crew on them for sure. I know that.
So you've got Eric Watts is in the ring. He pulls Three Life Crew to do the ringside duties, and starts out the match with Christopher Daniels coming out with Russo. Russo's got his baseball bat, and Russo is also, for the duration of this 20-minute cage match, he's wearing AJ's championship belt.
And he's got the bat sticking out of it.
Yeah. Just nutty. I'm like, he's got the belt on. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And then that just infuriates, Don and Martinet, I think. But they're both talking about that. They're like, he's got AJ's belt. And then Jarrett is the next one out, and he comes out with Dusty, and Dusty is like he's the guy that's taking care of the lock and key for the event. So this one starts out hot. It's got a great start. Jarrett here with Christopher Daniels, and they're all over the place.
Oh yeah, they start in the crowd.
Yeah, they start in the crowd. They don't make it to the cage right away. You wanted me to list off the guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Styles is third. Fourth is Chris Harris. Fifth is Simon Diamond. Sixth is D'Lo Brown. 7 is Shane Douglas. 8 is James Storm. 9 Swinger, and 10 Raven. And this crowd is just hot for this match because it really goes back and forth with the the heels are outweighing the good guys. Oh no, now it's even. Oh no, it's not even. Oh no, it's even again. And it's just back and forth throughout the whole thing. It's great.
The crowd is so hot the whole show. It's one of my favorite. I think one of the best Asylum crowds to date. They just don't shut up. Like they don't stop the entire night. But it's wild. Like the whole thing. It's absolutely wild. BG's doing the ring announcing. Yeah, I like that, Jay. They asked Tiny to leave, so Conan's a timekeeper. And then Killings is the Athena, like ring attendant. It's wild. The whole thing. And it's a fight. It's the kind of shit that today they don't do. Just make it look like a fight. That's the idea. It's 10 guys who just want to beat the shit out of each other. And that's all they did for 30 minutes. They just beat the shit out of each other. There was no waiting for a guy to take a dive, no setup. It was just a fucking fight. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't clean and dirty. It was fantastic. I think it was a great match. Again, it gets forgotten though, Bill. They forget. They don't talk about it ever. Does this one ever get mentioned? And it's a phenomenal match.
No, it's definitely forgotten. Trying to think if there's anything specifically why it gets forgotten. Not
really. I think it's just it's so early on.
It's early, like a lot of things, and the early gets forgotten. You could have some squams with the end of it. Like obviously with Dusty there, you get a Dusty finish. You get Jared going over because Jared has to go over. I don't know why he has to get over in this match.
Can I do it? Jared got the pin on this, right? Am I crazy, or Jared gets the pin on?
You got the pin on AJ after he got the stroke.
He strokes AJ and gets the pin.
See,
the champion.
They got the hard camera on it, and there's so much chaos going on. You see him go for the pin, and I couldn't even tell who he pinned.
Yeah, it was wild. It's a lot. There's so many guys in there, and there's weapons, and there's blood. It's just a ton of shit.
Well, that's here's the question. There was a ton of weapons used in 30 minutes.
A lot.
Is there a time when there's too many weapons? And you're talking to Mr. ECW over here.
I'll tell you when.
Did they lose meaning in this match?
When there's that many guys in the ring, then there's too many weapons too. Yeah. It's like when that many guys, you didn't need the weapons. But if you had half the amount of the guys, then you can have the weapons. You already got enough guys who can fight. They didn't need weapons on top of being fighters. That's the thing.
And he even had a table in there. How are you going to have 10 guys and a table in there?
It's just too much.
Then you use the table, and then what are you going to do?
Overbooked. It was overbooked. Like,
and I like the Wild. I know you guys like the Wild too. I love the chaos. I absolutely love chaos. But I think it gets forgot. I don't think people remember it because there's so much to remember. That's the thing.
There's too many spots going on. It's like a 30-minute Clockwork House of Orange match with that many people. It's crazy.
It's just a lot. Yeah, I think if you scrap the weapons and you sold this purely as a War Games type.
Yeah, because that's what it is. The classic War Games matches, maybe you get a chair shot
randomly,
a chair. But that's about it.
Yeah.
You use the cage. That's the weapon.
That's the weapon. The cage is the weapon. And Lethal Lockdown's different because the idea of Lethal Lockdown was once they're in, the roof lowers with weapons. That you went in knowing that the idea was the roof encases all of them, and now they got weapons. So that was different. Like you sold it like Lethal Lockdown is you're trapped. Now there's weapons and you're all gonna die, kind of thing. But this one you didn't need it. They were all brawlers. They're all big men fighters. They're all in there beating the shit. It's like you didn't need the weapons. But it regardless of everything, it's an action-packed match. It is just a fight all the way through. And I love it. It's just brutal fight. Like there was one point where D'Lo's beating the shit out of somebody, Jay, and I'm convinced he really hates him. I'm like, there's gotta be beef. There's gotta be beef there. There's gotta be real life beef between these two. I'm like, they sold it 20 years later.
Yeah, and then that fight at the end was just cuckoo. I mean, everybody spilled out. Legend was out there. The flock was out there. Not the flock.
Gather.
What the flock?
What the flock?
No, I'm thinking New Church guys came out.
They came out,
and then they were trying to cut Raven's hair, and he was struggling, but he snipped like a little bit of it, and that's when they cut the camera.
Yeah,
because I thought this is when they shaved him, because I know that's coming.
That was a match. That ends up being a match where the shave happens. It's hair versus hair. But it's the tease up into, it's the tease, constantly teasing it. But the match is where they actually shave it, and he carves his head and just grinds his skull. Oh my, brutal to this day. he went backwards, and you're not supposed to go backwards. You got to go with the hair. That's just so you know. If you're clipping your hair, you don't go the other way. You don't carve. But that was it. We went off the grain. Against the grain. But we went off the air with that. That was it. Went to dark as soon as he simped a little bit off the hair. The against the grain line. Lethal Weapon 3. That's I don't know if anyone catches that line. Against the grain. He's teaching his son how to shave. He's like, you go with the grain, not against the grain. Is that what you're referencing? I don't know if you were. Hey, I remember the most insignificant fucking line of the movie, at least 11-3, and I just remember that. He's like, you go with the grain, not against the grain. Like, yeah, but
it's a cool father-son moment.
You remember that scene where he's teaching him how to shave, and the kid's like, yeah, exactly. The kid like kind of went.
Yeah,
kind of went sideways.
Because his kid's growing up, he had stuff happened with his daughter, where his daughter was growing up.
That's
and now is his son. Yeah, so
3's a good one. 3's an underrated lethal weapon. I like 3 a lot. But that's it, guys. Went off the air. That's number 61. The Asylum. Man, it's this one's worth a watch. This is one you can even put it on, and just kind of catch it, as you pay attention to the X Division matches. The main you can kind of keep on and just kind of casually watch the action happening because it's so much going on. But the X Division matches are 100% worth a watch because this is kind of the genesis of the World X Cup, Super X Cup, and this is it. So that was it, guys. I liked it a lot, though. Fun episode to watch.
This was great.
It went like that, though. I felt like this episode. I was watching it while I was working. And I had it on my desk, and I'm like, man, it just flew by. I'm like, to my note, I'm like, holy shit, I'm fucking taking notes like crazy. But any other final thoughts on this one, Bill? You had like just a recommendation to watch or anything?
No, definitely. This is a must watch for the 3 X Division matches that are top matches in that division's history. Like they really are. Like you can really find better matches in the X Division than on the show. Like this is a best of X Division in one episode. And then you get a crazy weapons war games match to go along with it. So this is, I'll put it out there. Even though I think it was like overbooked that match, it had a nice build. I hated the ending because of Jared. That hurts it a little bit. If Jared just didn't win, I might put this as one of the best overall episodes just because of those 3 great X Division matches, a good build, no Scott Hudson. It's got a lot going for it, this show. This is probably my favorite episode in some time, and I hated the ending.
Which is sad because it had. I just don't. I mean, I know they're building Jarrett back to the title.
That's the thing. They're building him back, and that's what's happening. And I think that's why I hate it that much because they're building him back.
And let me ask Jay this real quick. A thing, because you watch WWE, a thing they're notorious for is having, and then TNA did this. I'm not saying TNA doesn't do it, and didn't do it, and Impact doesn't do it today. Having the guy who's gonna fight the guy later on. Pin that guy in a tag match or a cage match. It's like I always felt it took away from it. I was like, well, you pinned the guy now. Now I know you can beat him. The idea is to go into the match to not know if you can beat him. You're just show me you can beat him.
Well, then that technically, if you go by normal wrestling booking standards, that makes Jarrett number 1 contender.
But like. In the old days, you'd be the number 1 contender by ranking up, beating other guys, and it's like now I earned your shot.
Now if you pin them in whatever match happens, multi-tag, this something wonky,
because Impact is notorious for it though. To this day, they'll do the tag match before the pay-per-view, and then the one guy will pin the one guy. It's like, well, you pinned them. I didn't want to see it yet. Let me see the paper.
Yeah, remember, they do. Russo, I'm sure, would defend this by saying, well, you see the promo earlier. We all say we're going to soften him up. That he was only in the match for he would get pinned. Like that. Yeah. If that wasn't the them really telling you AJ's taking the pin, that they pretty much put it right out there at the beginning of the show. It's like AJ's going to eat the pin. It's who's going to get it. And, of course, it was Jared.
And and I imagine a good promo is going to come out of this, where AJ next week will be like, see, why was I? Now I'm not 100% or whatever. It's just like he could make an. Oh, there was 10 guys in there. He didn't beat me. There was 10 people beating me. Whatever. So you can go with it a couple different. I'm a big fan. Don't let me see them touch until the pay-per-view.
And I shouldn't have even been in there.
I'm not supposed to be here today.
There you go.
Pulling a Dante.
What are you, number 37?
37. Hey, you come back over. That's it, guys. That's 61. 62 will be on next week. We'll be doing that one.
We have to mention this because it's gold. Don Callis comes out during this match, and he's on
technically the first time ever at Impact Wrestling.
He's on commentary, and they're like, so technically he should hate this match.
That's a good point. Oh my God.
On paper, in theory, and I think TNA and or Don say something about that, like, what are you doing out here? Blah, 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 blah. So you should be protesting this match, but he was defending it for, I forget what the verbiage was used, but he was still gold out here on commentary. Like,
Russo gets on one point. He's like, why does Dusty? Oh, Eric Watts get to be in there. Put Callis in there. You cowards. Put Callis in there.
Yeah.
Like, why does Watts get to officiate this? Put Callis in there.
Russo was great. He was.
This role of Vince Russo, AJ's manager, is one of his best things he's ever done. This doesn't get credit at all. People dog him for other things.
Yeah.
This to me was like, he was actually a good manager.
You destroyed professional wrestling. Shut up.
Oh, so he's a writer. See, people who blame Vince Russo for destroying anything. First off, blame the people. If you didn't like the idea, blame the guy who put it on TV. First off, people blame the bosses who allowed it. Secondly, that's like saying you blame the writer for a movie being shitty. It's like there's 100 people involved in this. You don't just blame the one guy.
Yeah, the higher ups. People forget the higher ups in TNT did not want wrestling on their television anymore. They didn't say we don't want this on TV anymore because of Russo. No, the higher ups, the corporate guys above Ted Turner's head did not want wrestling. So how are you going to say one guy destroyed wrestling?
Listen, I think his influence still to this day, like, here we go. He knows what a Russo mark I am. No, but his influence lasts to this day. But what he did in TNA is a lot of fun. We're 62 episodes deep on the throwback, and this shit's fun, man. It's a party every week. It's a party with this.
Yeah,
it's wild. I love it. I'll take it any day. I did talk to Uncle Vince 2 days ago, and he says he's saying I didn't contact him to be on tonight, but I figure I should. I'm glad it didn't work out because Mark isn't here today. Mark would be upset if we had Vince on. He's not on. So
very nice. Okay. All right. Little too much information for me, but that's okay.
Okay. There he is. But
we had him on.
He'll be back. I talked to him 2 days ago. He'll be back. But cool. I think that's it. Anything else, guys? Any other? Definitely get your Impact Plus. Start watching these. I mean, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us, but I want you guys to watch these too. For the sake of Impact, get the history on the company. This is an easy history lesson on the company.
Yeah.
$8 a month, you can't beat it. Plus, you get the Impact Plus specials.
This is such a unique time, and I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. It eerily mirrors exactly what's going on over the course of the last calendar year with all the wonkiness in professional wrestling. You don't know who's going to leave what company and show up wherever. That's every week on this show almost.
It's fun as hell.
Yeah.
But get your Impact Plus, guys. Go ahead and watch it. Or do they get the Impact Plus specials that happen, plus the entire catalog. So it's free for 30 days or $8 a month as well. So it's not too bad. But let's get our plugs in here. Bill, where can people get you?
They can get me on the Twitter and the Instagram. Add my name at William M. Gardner. Gardner.
Very nice. Very nice. J-Bone.
You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're doing all sorts of things, wrestling. We just did the Fallout. No, not Fallout. We just did, what the hell? I do so much shit, I lose my mind. We did, the St. Patty's Day Slam. That was a blast. So, yeah, we just covered that last night. Smash This Podcast has a ton of brand new merch on a new shop that I've been plugging. Great looking stuff. We got tie-dyes, tees, women's shirts. We got caps, bandanas, all sorts of great stuff. Buttons, just oodles and oodles of merch. Go check it out. And it's on YouTube, the Twitch, and all the socials, the Facebook, the Twitter box, and the Instaneck, and the audio's on anchor.fm/smash this podcast.
Very cool. Guys, you can get me at Trensberry on Twitter. The show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or just type in Total Nonstop Impact. Comes right up. Audio, all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Rate, review, subscribe, guys. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. If you are a Twitch user, you get one free subscription a month if you are an Amazon Prime member. So don't forget to use that Prime benefit. Every month you get a free sub. You can sub to our channel for absolutely free if you have Amazon Prime.
Trent, is it true
Yes.
what they say? If you don't use it, you lose it?
That's very true. It's the old saying, and he's right. He's right. Listen to Bill. If you don't use it, you lose it. Use the free one. It's absolutely free. But go ahead and get that, guys. So as we announced, the show schedule is every Tuesday. We are the post show of Impact Wrestling. As soon as Impact goes off the air, we are on. But prior to that is the watch along. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. Bill and J-Bone watch the show along with you. Take your comments, feedback, hang out with them. And then immediately following is the post show. We got guests. No guest announced for this week just yet. Might have one on the day of. But catch Adam Thornstone from last week, Jake something from the week prior, Willie Mack. We have them all, guys. They've all been on the show. They keep coming. In 2 weeks, though, we're going to have Michael Cavaccini. He's going to be on talking about his TNA book that's coming out. Stay tuned for that. Thursdays, throwbacks for number 62 will be next week, so get your Impact Plus. And then tomorrow, every Friday is the TNI UK guys, Bison, Joe, and Steve. But tomorrow is their first live broadcast, 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then in the UK, just add 6 hours to that, whatever the hell you are. So add your 6 hours. I think it's 8 p.m. UK time in London. So
Prime time.
Prime
The Elix
time.
skipper of
where the hell did he go, by the way? Where's he at?
He vanished.
He vanished on this show. So I'll be producing that behind the scenes. I'm sure Mark will be in the chat. A couple of these guys might pop in the chat too. Keep those guys encouraged. Their first live broadcast will come out and support the TNI UK guys. I'm sure they'll be a little nervous, little butterflies, but they'll get through it. They're gonna be talking sacrifice. So that's the show schedule, guys. 3 days a week coming at you from TNI. No weekend shows as of now, but there's talks. Things are being put together. We'll see what happens. I know Bill, you and Kyle are talking about something. Then again, you're Kyle, so who knows how hopeful that is.
My chicken got up and ran away.
That seriously. but that's gonna do it for us, guys.
Wait, what?
Just go with it, Jay. Go with it.
The mukbang. I had my chicken. I had my chicken sandwich. It was sitting there.
You never called? Is that what happened?
Oh well, he, Kyle. He's a busy guy, man. He's moving and shaking. He's Jessica Rabbiting. He's doing all kinds of things.
Man,
Come on, man.
but we'll see if that happens, guys. If not, Bill, might be a solo show for you. Maybe it'll be your solo show.
Yeah, we'll see. Like that would more likely be the Saturday morning thing. Like that, because it won't be a mukbang. That'd be more like the Bill eating some cereal, getting a little wrestling talk going, and then maybe then the people can just jump in.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
The Saturday morning Fruit Loops.
The sugar smacks.
The Saturday morning sugar smacks with your host Bill, front row Bill. We're talking cereal. We're talking Ninja Turtles. We're talking it all, guys.
Yeah.
Lego my ego.
All right, guys. That'll do it for us. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Definitely take care of what you got to take care of. And join us back here on Tuesday, post show and the watch along and post show. Teddy Hart's over here saying hello, flipping off rings, beating up CM Punk and Waffle Houses. We're gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out. We'll talk to you later. See ya.